This is the only plant around here with blue flowers. I hope it's the right one. Should be enough to keep the info. Slavers don't. Let's go.
Safe. Tear those bastards' heads off.
Stay still, you damned fool. Unless you want to bleed to death.
Cole.
Just about.
Doris sent me to...
I sent her on it.
Well, I'm here.
Only some. The rest locked themselves in the slate. I want to help them, Sid.
You made the right decision.
The goblins may still...
You have duties to...
All right. And please, hurry.
I won't let that.
Thank you.
Don't thank me just yet. They're trying to get into the carriage. Who are you? A friend. Are there any more survivors? Why didn't you flee with the others? If the goblins had made it through that door, you wouldn't have stood a chance.
Why should we run? One miserable death's no worse than another.
Perhaps. But we're here to give you another freedom, safety.
Sid, I couldn't just let you... You weren't too late.
This man risked his life to save yours.
Fine.
What we'll do with you is take you to safety.
You can leave the rest to us, Sid.
Thank you.
little uns have been up to their old tricks again.
Sid, if I'd... Or maybe...
Cole and the...
No, what kind of... I should have urged greater caution.
We swore,
It's good to see you safe.
with all due respect, no one with doubts ever...
We all know how much break.
Cole, I never doubted. Thank you. I sometimes wonder, but...
You will.
I hope you didn't have too much trouble finding the ammonia.
Only the usual.
Oh, yes.
You'll do fine.
Thank you for the kind words. Truly, I'm sorry. The brand is more than just ink on flesh. It's a death sentence. One ill-conceived incision, a single slip, and the poison fouls the patient's blood. And even success means tremendous pain. I became a physiker to help people, not...
Curse breakers lead hard lives. They toil in the shadows, risking life and yet we never won for volunteers.
Conviction?
They're willing to fight. I know your work isn't easy, but neither is going under the knife.
You sound like Tyre. Do you know what she once told me? It's thank you.
Here, what's everyone whispering about?
Jill looked white as a sheet when they brought her back.
Clive, where have you been? I've been wanting to ask you something about Torgal. Where did you get him, like, in the first place?
My father brought him back from one... They were crossing a snowfield when they heard his cry.
What do you reckon, Tomes?
It certainly adds weight to the Clive. I believe that Torgal may be no mere hound, but a rare frostwolf. In one of our oldest bestiaries, I found reference to a frostwolf. His name...
Fenrir the Frostwolf.
Now, the annals do not state it explicitly, but I have reason to believe this queen was a dominant of Shiva, a girl from the Northern Territories and her faithful hound. One awakens as the dominant of Shiva, and the other...
You're saying that Jill granted Torgal his powers?
What?
Just like Fenrir. People called him my hound, but Torgal and Jill were inseparable. He grew up as a faithful companion to the dominant of Shiva, and years later, his powers awakened, just when his master needed him the most.
You're right. If it weren't for Torgal blasting those bastards...
Quite. Though Torgal's his latent birthright as a frost, it had only to be unlocked.
Oh, get you, Torgal!
You're an even finer...
And regarding your original concern, you need not fear for Torg. Why, the beast has the appetite of a behemoth. Just this very morn, I found him with his nose buried in my nuts.
There you are! I've been looking everywhere for you. Bernadette, I need you to introduce us so we can get to... Okay, brilliant.
It is.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you. You and everyone else. But I promise I'll pay you back. I'm gonna work my fingers to the bone for you lot, starting right now. Just you wait. I'll make wonders like this, Will.
Then I look forward to seeing them. Now that that's settled, I wonder if Vivian's made any progress tracking down Kupka.
Thanks for before, son. That was a good deed you did me. Only right I...
Thanks for letting me do this, Clive. I'll pay you back, I promise.
I wish
I think I'll wait till Mid's away to take a tour of her.
How goes the hunt for Kupka?
Largely we have myriad sightings of strange soldiers. If only we knew for certain by what route he left Rosalie.
Well, if anyone can piece this puzzle together, it's you.
What?
Would that be a problem?
Do you know, Clive? I believe it a mercy that you didn't.
You have nothing to worry about on that.
Clive, have you got a minute? We, have a guest.
A guest?
For your trouble. It was a pleasure, in hindsight.
Uncle Byron?
Clive, my boy! Tap a cask and stoke the ovens, for your favourite uncle is here! The Dalmekian government sues for peace. How shall we respond?
If they're willing to accept their fault in the matter, I see no reason to refuse them.
Still, we must insist on substantial reparations. Twinside stores are not as bottomless as reported.
Aye, and we have many more mouths to feed. We shall just have to have the Dalmeks empty their treasuries for us. Of course, none of this would have been possible without your timely intervention, Prince Olivier.
Indeed, I doubt any of us would have had the courage to trade words with the mighty Titan, nor less the wit to win him over.
The Empire owes you a great debt.
May the blessing of the crystals go with you, Your Highness.
May the blessing of the crystals go with you.
Very good.
Now, let us come to the question of precisely when the Dalmeks will withdraw their troops.
Dion's fire could rid us of them in mere moments. The men of the Fist will not withdraw until a peace treaty is concluded. So let us keep the negotiations open, give them time to gather what gold and trinkets they can, and once they deliver that which we demand, what worth is a piece of parchment?
Your Radiance, were Prince Dion to take the field, the enemy would surely send their own dominant to meet him. And while His Highness would of course prevail, there would be heavy losses on both.
You need not fear Hugo Kupka. He is engaged on the Western Front. Even were the Dalmeks to send for him, he would not arrive in time. As much as I would enjoy witnessing a clash between Bahamut and Titan, it is not to be.
And what of your subjects, your Radiance? If the fighting spread to the city proper, the people would bear the brunt of it.
There will be losses, it is true. Yet for every citizen who falls, another can be bred. For every home that burns, another can be built. The Empire will live on. Dion?
Yes, sire.
Prepare for battle.
But sire...
Do not make me repeat myself. Return to your camp and await my orders.
If that is your wish, your Radiance, I shall depart at once. May Gregor forgive you.
What do the astrologers augur?
The stars are in agreement, Your Radiance. The shadow of treachery hangs over Prince Dion.
So Annabella's tales were true. You disappoint me, Dion.
What on earth is Uncle Byron doing here? Only one way to find out.
The little uns have been up to their old tricks again.
It's just one thing after another around here.
Ah, my dear nephew, how I've missed you.
How did you find this place, Uncle?
Through the good offices of young Sir Wade. He really is the most helpful fellow. As are you, I hear. The Guardians and those they freed tell the most outlandish tales of your heroics in Rosalith. Which is why I came, to learn the full truth of the matter. Sort the fact from the fiction, so to speak.
You were working with the Guardians of the Flame to evacuate the people of Rosalith to Port Isolde.
I was, aye.
Then I have questions for you. Please, Come inside.
Gladly. You there? There are 2,000 gold talents in those chests. See that they're added to my nephew's coffers, would you?
2,000?
And I'm afraid that is all.
A fleet sailing south past Port Isolde.
Forgive me for not being able to tell you more. I hadn't the faintest idea Kupka withdrew wounded from Rosalith. Still less.
What do you think, Vivian?
I think, with this news of the Dalmekian fleet and recent reports of the royal... Come here and I'll show you. It is known that Kupka's forces entered Rosaria via its unguarded coast. So can the same be said of your visitors from Waloed? Certainly, her royal navy is famed for the efficiency with which it bears her knights from one battlefield to the next. And in the Einherjar, or Black Galleon, she boasts a vessel nigh as swift and every bit as feared as the kingdom's legendary cavalry. A fitting flagship for a land apart, her naval presence being crucial to her ambitions beyond Ash. Yes, it seems safe to assume that the Royalists did indeed enter Rosaria from the sea. So then, had you a vested interest in Titan's survival, whither would you take him? Why, home to Drake's Fang, a place rich enough in ether to conjure the magics needed to mend his hurts. But would that not entail an arduous voyage around the southern cape? Let us say that the Royalists did put ashore with a mind to spirit Kupka away from under your very nose. Could that truly have been their plan for him? To load him aboard one of the ships flying Republican colors sighted off the coast near Port Isolde. To spend weeks at sea, being tossed hither and yon by unforgiving waves, his life hanging in the balance. No. The journey would mean Titan's death, and Kupka's faithful creatures would not allow it. So what then was the plan of our Waluda friends? Reports suggest they made not for the coast, but for the desert. And by cutting through the Velcroy, a party traveling light would have Titan back in his bed days before a galley could lurch into port. To wit, it was the Royalists, not the Republicans, who effected Hugo Kupka's safe retreat. I would stake your life on it.
So it was the Waluders who spirited the wretch away. Now I think about it, there was something a little... The men seemed almost as if they believed, or were...
And you have your answer. It may well have gone cold by...
allow me. As luck would have it, I had intended to journey Canberward on...
I'd be glad of the come. Give me a moment to make ready.
Very well, but...
Mid's finished outfitting her little work. Shall I buy here? With a little help from Sid, of course.
Otto.
You're not going in...
Don't worry. I won't risk any more.
The Lenser and you have any trouble on the way?
Who is she?
An old associate of Sid's. And only Sid's. All I know is the name. We've heard nothing from...
Thanks.
So, what a...
Don't look so worried.
Thank fuck for that.
Gav, Otto.
You can count on.
All right, Uncle.
We shall. I was a young man when last I walked this path. There's an old trading post not far from here. The road to Drake's Fang leads through it.
The trading post it is. Run like the wind.
Our destination lies over that dune, beyond the ruins. Mark 'em well, Clive. It's all too easy to lose one's bearings in the sands. Many years ago, when you were just a boy, you and I rode this way together, accompanying your father on a scouting expedition to Drake's Fang.
He let me come with you.
I'm not surprised you don't remember. It was just before Joshua was born. You were so eager to be there when your brother arrived that you whipped your chocobo too hard on the journey home and fell from the saddle. I shall never forget how Elwyn fussed over you as you sat in the sand, bawling like a babe.
Who do you think those soldiers were?
Ah, there she is. The good old Dalamil Inn. Do you know, this heat has given me quite a thirst. Quick drink before we press on?
Look, there. Those are Ashen steeds. No doubt about it.
And such a long ride from Stonehair. Our Waluda friends must be soothing their saddle sores in the inn. Shall we join them? Run along and play now, Torgal. Dogs aren't allowed inside.
Good day to you. Eating?
Sorry about my pal. He only talks when his mouth's full. What do you recommend?
Well, if you're after something light, we do a fine chocobo soup with lentils and honey.
2 bowls of that, then. An ale.
Right you are.
Hey, girl!
Coming!
Your pal?
Would you rather be my squire?
Your Grace,
It is plain you are not yet well enough to travel. If you would only let me take you to someone who can better attend to your ills.
No, we must press on. Prince Dion has returned to his camp and will soon depart for the front. I must speak with him at all costs. Miss this chance and I may never get another. You do understand that?
Yes, Your Grace. But you must at least agree to take your medicine. I'll fetch you some water.
Keep watch, they tell us. But all I see is sand.
I hear they got our guest back to the Fang without any trouble. We'll be leaving soon enough.
Why the Lord Commander dragged us all this way just to save that blockhead skin, we'll never know. Dominant or not, he's a bloody idiot.
That'll be Cooker, then.
Well, let's get this down us. We've a long way to go.
Hey, you!
Uncle?
Sorry.
Can you walk, Your Grace?
What's wrong?
I fear trouble may be brewing downstairs.
You two are travelers, are you not? Me and my companions are strangers here. Perhaps you'd be good enough to accompany us a while. Help us find our way.
Sorry, lads, but we've got business in camera that can't wait.
Ah, I'm sure you could spare us an hour or two.
Come on.
Friend.
I'm afraid we don't have a moment to lose. Friend. Stay back, Uncle.
Gladly. The outlaw! Take him!
Try it.
For your trouble. Word of advice, miss. That soup could do with a touch more salt.
Now's our chance. Your Grace?
I'm fine.
Clive?
What is it now?
It's nothing. Let's go.
Well, we didn't know where to find Kupka before. We do now.
The Royalists said it themselves. Their guest is in the Fang.
Ah, they've closed the road. And it's the only way from here to the Fang. It would seem Lord Kupka is not accepting visitors at present.
We have to get through that gate.
Not by force, I trust.
By guile, then. Perhaps the Desert Hare cannot...
Rosina Dalamil. But how will we...
And that she was working. Sid's other collaborators have all been people of... I'll wager this, Rosie.
That would certainly help.
And that's exactly what
Looks like we won't be getting back to Drake's Fang anytime soon.
Anything I can interest you in?
Light it, for Gilbert's sake. Bearer, aren't you?
Anything I can help, allow me. My good man, we're seeking to expand our...
Well, we're best known...
Thank you. Oh, no. Well...
1,000 gil for a measly bunch of Gazal greens.
What do you want?
I won't keep it. A woman, but...
Never heard of her.
One more question. If I wanted to...
Oh, that's easy. The owner's only a young sprig.
The Briar's Kiss.
I doubt this young sprig is the person we're looking for. You said Sid's contact was likely to be an influential sort. Influence comes with age and experience. Believe you me.
Can I help you?
Yes, I'm looking for a long-standing pillar of your community.
Then you should ask further. He's been here for years. Try the baths.
Thank you. Well, it sounds like we have our man.
Perhaps. Let's go and find out exactly what this Furter knows.
Hanging lanterns, keep the darkness from your door.
Excuse me.
I am.
I hope so. Do you know Rosina Dalamil?
And what?
She was a close friend of...
Very well. Go to the bordello.
Do you think we can trust him?
Only as far as I think.
So you're the ones who've been...
I beg your...
Don't play the... Stick your nose in our business.
Over here! Get him! Over here! This one! Ogle, kill!
Who are you working for? He wanted us to
Though one could heart.
Lord Ferda?
Look what the cat dragged. Your skill with the blade is rare and a fitting talent.
You know who I am, so what now?
Cool. That isn't mine. Our work is done. Take him to meet his precious Rosina.
To the Lock of Leisure, then.
To the Lock of Leisure.
Needed to a silken soft...
The most fragrant herbs and
My carpet!
Is this the place?
Lubo's fort. So much for Rosina Dal...
It was an easy mistake to make, Uncle. Sorry. Whoever this Lubor truly is, he's clearly a man.
See that he gets it. Lubor, Lord Ferda told me to bring them to you.
My boys tell me you're in need of assistance. Sid the Second?
I won't waste your time. I need passage through the south gate.
Tell me, what do you think is a merchant's most important commodity? Why, trust. Everyone knows that. Without it, you have nothing. And nothing is exactly what you have. And so, for you, I, too, have nothing. I'm not in the business of helping every lost puppy that wanders in off the street. I'm a busy man, as you can see.
Let's leave this mummer to his farce.
By all means. Find someone else to help you on your way. Just be sure to tell them you're not the two travelers from the inn the guards are looking for. Don't want them jumping to conclusions, do we?
Why, you...
So, what do we need to do to earn your trust?
I like this one. Willing to do whatever it takes to get what he wants. Ha! Men like you have a special place in my heart. Why, you ask? Because they get me what I want. Always.
Fine. So what do you want?
Don't tell me you're going to listen to this swaggering scruff.
We might as well hear him out. It's only natural that an ally of Sid's would seek assurances of strangers. Assuming he is an ally, of course. 5 years ago, he would have still been a boy.
And yet even then I had more good sense than a man, 5 times my age? But enough of the pleasantries. We were speaking of what I want. I want you to put an end to the trouble in Dalamil. Return to me when you have done so, and you shall have my aid. Until then, I bid you good day.
What trouble? If you're going to give us orders, be clear about them, damn you!
Manners, Greybeard. One catches more damselflies with honey than with vinegar.
What did you call me?
My apologies. A word of advice in recompense. Follow the crystals. Oh, but that was 3. Oh, I'm making this too easy for you.
Ha! It will be easy. Solving his little riddle should be like dealing with him. Child's play. Let us divide our forces, Clive. I'd rather not drag this parlor game on any longer than we need to.
All right. Good luck, Uncle. I thought we were the only ones causing trouble in Dalamil. Excuse me.
You've heard, then?
I've heard rumors.
Damn thing. Pilfering the crystals that were meant to us common folk. And it isn't as if we can buy them on the black market.
Do you have a moment?
Depends what.
Just a question. Dalamil seems to be
Well, we're a stone's throw from the soldiers guarding the Mother Crystal and the shipments. The men of the Rock throw their money about.
Is that so?
Light meat and dark, fresh from the grill. You wouldn't believe how much he gave me. What can I do for you, soldier?
I'm not a soldier.
Oh, then be off with you.
You have...
Don't be stupid. I just know which side my bread is buttered. Don't want to be stuck under some pauper when they come knocking. With pockets deeper than Zemeckis and an urge to empty them. No, just leave.
I think I'm starting to get an idea of what's been going on. I wonder if Uncle Byron's learned anything of use. They'll probably be back at the inn by now.
Good sir.
The finest fabric!
It's you, the one who broke all. What do you want? Haven't you...
I'm looking for my pal.
The gentleman who was with you?
Thank you. Huh?
Will this suffice as a deposit?
By the sands. That's a black pearl.
One of the many treasures in my collection that I would be only too happy to part with, should you give me reason.
All right. But not...
What are you doing, Uncle? Care to explain why you're giving gifts to Kupka's men?
Bait, my boy. One cannot... And I do believe I've snagged us quite the quarry. I had no luck, of course. It's forbidden to trade. But my uncharacteristic indiscretion. They took me aside and said they could procure the crystallized sort if I...
So the pub...
I thought they'd ask for more. A second-rate a small price to pay for admittance. But enough about my little act.
That the supply of crystals has dried up of late. And some people seem... Meanwhile, members of Kupka's private guard have been spending money all over town. I'll wager those soldiers you've been talking to have been siphoning off crystals meant for elsewhere.
I'll wager you're right.
We'll meet with them then. Just as you can put an end to the trouble Lubor spoke of.
Ha! That preening... It just goes to show, one should never underestimate a Rosfi. I arranged to meet with the soldiers in a secluded corner of the Velcroy, far from prying eye.
The perfect place for a spot of double dealing.
I trust I can count on your support, if things turn sour.
Of course.
What was all that crashing and banging about before?
Not here.
I'll take it from me.
I was beginning to think you weren't coming.
All the silver and stone.
You brought the whole 500 talents.
That was the price we agreed upon, yes?
Of course.
Not bad at... But what of security? If I were to be stopped on the road, what guarantee have I that it...
Because these crystals are no longer the property of the Republic. You're buying from them.
And we have no more jurisdiction here than you, my lord. But we have ships, and will gladly deliver to a port of your choosing, now that our price has been met.
Royalists, eh? What brings you here?
Why, to collect their share of Drake's Fang's blessing, of course. And being such good friends, we elect... And now that these crystals are officially property of the Kingdom of Waloed, we are duty-bound not to interfere.
Did you get all that? There...
So it would...
My lord, what is the meaning of this?
Double-crossing dogs. They're not here to do business. Kill them! Kill them both!
It's not over yet, Uncle!
Good! I'm just getting warmed up!
Over here! Get him!
Well, how'd you like my performance?
Greybeard, you were magnificent. The battle... Such a shame you didn't have more of an audience, but...
How long have you been watching?
Long enough to witness your uncle's sordid trance. I hardly expected one so venerable to degrade himself so thoroughly. Buying one's way into...
This was the trouble you spoke of. The men of the Rock taking crystals meant for the common folk and conspiring with the... Well...
Indeed it is. The people of Dalamil had scarcely any means of redress against... Until you two came... Well, we'd better get these crystals back to town. You won't mind waiting with them while I... It occurs to me that I still don't know your name.
Clive.
So, Sid the Second is a Clive. Well, Clive, you held up your end of the bargain. To tell the truth, you've helped a little there too. Many of the guards have already been redeployed to deal with the issue of... And those left behind have been encouraged to look...
Thank you. And you still have the purse I gave to the soldiers, I trust? I saw you pluck it from one of the bodies.
Oh, dear.
And my name is not Greybeard.
No. Thank...
Of all the...
Here, wear this. Any friend of mine who sees you with it shall be a friend of yours.
Thank you, Lubo.
And please, feel free to send one of my Stoluses back to your people. Tell them that Rosina Dalamil is back in bed with Sid.
Umia Stelan. Tu Isaac Elith.
I'm trusting you, Sid. Or should I say, Clive? So be sure not to let me down. I have a reputation to uphold. Well then, I wish you a safe journey south.
Thank you.
Not at all. It was my pleasure.
Come on, Uncle. Let's go.